Whoa, sorry. All right, chat. I'm gonna start YouTube up for a second. We're probably gonna do like maybe an hour and a half of just regular topics. Yeah, this was just a watch party. I'm gonna still get to a few topics that don't have to do with politics. Again, it's interesting even speaking about politics, whether it's my opinion or what I believe is actual, some type of knowledge, because it's a very divisive topic, right? Like, if you really are passionate about supporting Kamala or you're really passionate about supporting Trump, you're probably going to reject any opinion that doesn't align with what you're thinking already is. Again, this is like one of those sensitive things. They say don't talk about religion or politics. Anyway, what do you guys think about the whole thing? I'll play a little bit more of it, but I'm getting YouTube on for a second.
Do we want to give her a promotion? I think the answer has to be no, John.
All right, Senator Vance, thank you for joining us. Mary.
One thing both sides can agree on, this was a consequential night in this race. More reaction when we come back. Stay with us.
Okay. Welcome to YouTube. Hey, by the way, I wanted to, we could kind of touch back on the Trump thing in a bit, but I did want to initially and follow up with some of the stuff that we were talking about yesterday. I seen a lot of people, and I know a lot of y'all are chat niggas, but I'm gonna call y'all Kendrick fans. I seen y'all trying to do the mental gymnastics. I seen people sending articles. They say act. Yo, you was wilding last night. Yo, you was just trying to hate on Jay-Z because you love Drake. And they actually doubted some of the things that I said, even though, they sent in a couple articles. So I'm here to correct this. And for all y'all people who doubted me, I just want y'all to react to this. And this is an article written by David Dennis Jr., But what's important, by the way, this is talking about Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show. And the title is bigger than his victory over Drake. But what's more important, if you go to this article and you go down, you're going to see something very important. And it actually contradicts everything I've seen people say on social media. So I just want everybody who has said the opposite to now acknowledge this and then come back with your opinions about it. So what's very important, and give me 1 second. This is into the Rich Homie Quan stuff at this point. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. So yesterday, and people sent in some hefty donations saying, why are we blaming Jay-Z? There's a committee. That's what y'all told me. There's a committee that decides on this, and basically New Orleans picked Kendrick. Now, that didn't sound right to me. Like, I get it that Kendrick is the hip-hop Jesus, but why on earth would New Orleans pick Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne? Okay? Now, y'all sent me an article, which I told y'all, I think this is before Roc Nation took over in affecting or consulting or deciding who performs for the Super Bowl. Y'all said, no, it's not. Cool. Well, now we have another article. So y'all explain this. So let's read this particular part. It says, for his part, Lil Wayne has been adamant in his desire to do the show. He says, I will not lie to you. I've not got a call or nothing. He told YG on his 400 podcast back in February. So we're praying. We're keeping our fingers crossed. I'm working hard. I just want to make it hard for them not to holla at the boy. Yet Roc Nation NFL went with Kendrick Lamar, which has led many in social media to debate who deserved the slot more. Fellow New Orleans legend Master P chimed in, leaving a comment on Instagram in defense of Lil Wayne's position as an ambassador for entertainment in the city of New Orleans. I have to agree with the fans that Lil Wayne should have been a part of the celebration as well. Much, and this is where all y'all, and I want all y'all who was like, act your loin, there's a committee, y'all gonna have to respond to this. Much of the confusion rests on whose decision this ultimately was, as people are placing the onus on a combination of Roc Nation, the NFL, and the city of New Orleans. Jay Cicero, okay, the president and CEO of New Orleans Sports Foundation and a Super Bowl 59 host committee member offered some clarity in an email to Anscape. It is the NFL's decision alone for all entertainment for the Super Bowl. We found out about it the same time everybody did this past weekend. So for all the people who claimed that it wasn't Jay-Z that influenced this, it wasn't Roc Nation nor the NFL, but it was actually some good old people on some random committee in New Orleans. Well, this is a guy who's actually a Super Bowl 59 host committee member, and he's also the CEO of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation. I think he would know if there was a committee of New Orleans, like in New Orleans, that voted to pick Kendrick. He says it's only the NFL that made the decision. So what the fuck y'all got to say now? It's clear. Listen, I don't care what you want to say. This decision was heavily influenced or entirely made by Jay-Z and Roc Nation. Trust and believe. If you think otherwise, you're fooling yourself. Now, I do see people doing other mental gymnastics to say, well, if it wasn't for Jay, there wouldn't be hip-hop at all. So y'all should be happy. Okay, if that's your stance, cool. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to just try to act like this is some random committee-based, this is like the Grammys. No. The NFL and we really think it's Roc Nation and Jay-Z made the decision to offer the Super Bowl headlining position to Kendrick Lamar in New Orleans. So for everybody who said New Orleans has some type of committee or panel that votes, we're getting the clarity here. This is from a host committee member and the CEO of Greater New Orleans of the Greater New Orleans Sport Foundation. They're saying it's only the NFL. Okay? Hopefully that gives a little bit of clarity. The point is, we ain't say all that shit about Jay-Z for no reason. Nigga's a hater. That's what it is. Nigga's a fucking hater. Now, I also seen on social media Mealy Mall. Trust me, every time this nigga pop up, I grip my teeth, but I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers still trying to, thought I buried these bums. Anyway, Mealy Mall says Drake turned down, y'all gotta see this. Mealy Mall came out to say Drake has turned down multiple offers previously to perform at the Super Bowl. Here we go.
That's family? Or are you on the other side with OVO and boycotting? Like turning off the TV when halftime comes?
No, it's the reason why, because again, Kendrick is one of the ones that eventually would have had a halftime. So now, the sticky part about all of this is Drake has been offered this Super Bowl show for some years now and has turned it down. Probably 4 years he's been offered to perform at Super Bowl. Said no for whatever reason. Whatever reason, he just didn't.
Did he tell you that, or is that like a known thing?
I didn't know that.
I've never heard that either.
What? That who?
Drake.
Oh, yeah.
Said no.
Well, he has. Drake has turned down the Super Bowl a few years.
Why do you think he's turned it down? Because that's really interesting to me.
I don't know why he would turn it down. I mean, that's up to the artist, their discretion. Maybe I'm on the road right now. I don't want to, whatever reason.
Want to be able to give it the proper
whatever
time?
Reason it may be. It may be a conflict. When you're talking about artists that are that big, it could be a conflict of interest somewhere.
I have no. Hey, listen. From my understanding, Mealy Mall does talk to Drake. I'm hoping this is true. Drake never told me that. By the way, to keep it real, last year after the Super Bowl, I hit Drake. I said, Drake, bro, if you've done everything, next year you got to take this shit over. He ain't really say shit. So, I mean, if he was offered this 4 years in a row and he turned it down, that would probably be the time he would be like, what do you mean? I keep turning it down. He ain't say shit. But maybe he did. I don't know. So I guess we got to go on Millie Mall's word. If that's the case, brother, and I hope y'all Drake fans don't think that, because I know y'all try to twist everything, be like, yo, what Axe is gonna say is because he's upset that maybe Drake told Millie Mall. No, I think that's terrible. Like, what? Bruv. Yo, I'm still going off the same shit I've said about Drake recently. Like, bruv, look at Kendrick getting a headline spot, all the stir it's gotten. Why the fuck would you turn down the Super Bowl? Like, I just don't get it. Like, if this is true that Drake has turned down the Super Bowl multiple times, that is just baffling to me. Unless maybe that's just a sign of arrogance that maybe you thought you were bigger than the Super Bowl look, which I can't believe that's the case because you literally got a song that says big as the Super Bowl. And here's the thing about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl has gotten people like Rihanna, who don't make music really anymore, has gotten her to fucking get up on a stage and perform in front of the whole world. If Drake has turned it down multiple times for years, that just gives new type of, bro, I don't know, bro. Bro, I don't know, my nigga. Like, if he's turned this down for years, what it's told me, like, just really, and this is a real moment, if Drake has turned this shit down for years, I'm like so flabbergasted. I'm like, no wonder you got Kendrick Lamar like fucking crossing you up like AI crossing up Mike. My nigga, these are things you should have done. If you have done the Super Bowl 2 or 3 times and Kendrick gets his first time doing the Super Bowl, dissing you, bro, you look even bigger. It's the fact that you've never done the Super Bowl. This nigga is doing it for the second time and headlining it and probably going to perform this song to you. So that's it's just confusing to me. But again, I've had just personal critiques of how Drake is the hottest artist and how he's just carried that. It's always like, all right, cool, I'm the hottest. I know I'm the hottest. Y'all know I'm the hottest. But it's never the looks, right? It's like, bro, you should be performing at the Super Bowl. Bro, you should be doing all the amazing things that a lot of times we see Taylor Swift do. Like, that's your level. Like, your level isn't competing with all due respect, and it's my man's 21 Savage, right? Like, you gotta act your wage. You gotta also play in the arena that you're supposed to be in. So, I don't know. Like, I like, it's like baffling for me. Like again, I think Millie Mall said it to be like a flex, and I guess it is, but I don't think it's a flex. Yo, I turned the Super Bowl down like mad times. Well, my nigga, the reason why you're talking about the Super Bowl or you're forced to have to respond to the Super Bowl is because this nigga over here finally got the Super Bowl and it's the biggest thing. Like, I don't get why you would turn the Super Bowl down. I don't know. Somebody says, okay, so, and okay, now I'll address this, right? Because I've seen this to be like the new narrative. And okay, so supposedly the World Cup, right, which is the biggest sporting event, the World Cup, is going to be in Toronto. It's going to be in Toronto for 2026, and apparently Drake is going to be he's one of the ambassadors. He did an interview with somebody, and they're talking about it. Now, granted, let's look at Super Bowl 2023 ratings. It got over 113 million people watching. Let's look at the World Cup. World Cup Finals viewership. They claimed 1.5 billion. So essentially the World Cup final, right? The World Cup final is watched by literally 10 times the amount of people as the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl is watched 10 times. Think about this. Think about tens. You got the NBA Finals. One game of the Super Bowl is watched 10 times more than the NBA Finals. Then you have the World Cup that's watched 10 times, the World Cup Finals, watched 10 times more than the Super Bowl. So this is the biggest event. Apparently it's going to be in Toronto and Vancouver. And pretty much Drake is going to be a part of it. And I got to say now, before I even play this, Drake, you'd be fucking stupid if you don't perform at this. Like I can't understand this too cool for school shit. I get the whole I don't want to be at the Grammys thing because the Grammys been playing you and giving the awards to all the niggas who don't use deodorant and who's on some we gonna be all right shit. I get that. I get like after a while saying fuck the Grammys. But these other looks, I have zero idea why the biggest rapper is not doing it. Like I have okay, cool, you turned out a Super Bowl a couple times. All right, but didn't Drake host the SP? I don't know, bro. Anyway, this is him talking about the World Cup, which I hope if he gets a chance to perform here in some. So that's a good thing. And I guess this is probably like, we're 2 years out. I hope Drake, brother, you gotta, part of being the biggest is doing the biggest, right? Like you gotta have those biggest moments, right? And Super Bowl is big. Obviously the World Cup also is bigger. As far as turning down multiple years of offers from the Super Bowl, like I do have questions about that. Here's the questions I have. Well, did he turn down a headlining set at the Super Bowl? Because let me go back to what Mealy Mall said.
That's family? Or are you on the other side with OVO and boycotting? Like turning off the TV when halftime comes?
No, it's the reason why, because again, Kendrick is one of the ones that eventually would have had a halftime. So now, the sticky part about all of this is Drake has been offered this Super Bowl show for some years now and has turned it down. Probably 4 years he's been offered.
Okay. Now, you know why this is interesting? Super Bowl halftime show performers. It's interesting because if what Mealy Mall is saying, it would probably, if it's 4 years now, it would probably kind of debunk what everybody's saying about Jay-Z. Because essentially, Jay-Z has controlled this shit since like 2020 or 2021. So 4 years ago, Jay-Z started managing or picking who performs. So if he's been asking Drake every year and Drake has turned it down, how much of a hater could Jay be? Right? Like, how much of a hater could he really be? And then I'm also wondering if he was he offered a headlining spot, right? Because like, for example, 50 Cent was seen and the way 50 like popped out, he was a guest, right? 50 was a guest in 2022. I'm also trying to think which one of these would 50 be able to replace. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2020 or 2020? Yeah, 2020. I could see Rock Nation giving this Shakira and J-Lo, even though I think this was in Miami, right? Well, actually, Shakira and J-Lo, it's in Miami. A lot of Hispanics. They bring out Bad Bunny. I could still see Drake coming out of this one though. Still, right? 2021, they give it to The Weeknd. I could see, obviously, The Weeknd and Drake's relationship been, iffy. I could see Drake being a guest here, but I'm wondering if they would have offered the headliner to Drake. That would be interesting. Over The Weeknd. 2022, they gave it to Dr. Dre and Friends, which includes Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick, 50. Would they have just given that to Drake, or maybe Drake could be like brought out by, I don't know. I can't even see him in this mix low key, honestly. There's no lineage that he's tied to with this group, but whatever. Would he have gotten it for 2023 instead of Rihanna? Would that be the look? Yo, let's give Drake the look instead of Rihanna. And then obviously last year was Usher. I don't know. I almost feel like there were probably offers, but maybe not offers to headline. unless we're talking about him knocking out The Weeknd, or maybe it's a Weeknd and Drake show, right? Like Weeknd and Drake show. Or he was gonna take over the 2020 show, which I think that's when CLB is about to drop. Scorpion was like one of the biggest things in the world in 2018, 2019. I don't know. But to me, I'm a little confused. I'm confused why Drake would turn it down. Like, why? I don't get it. Shit, like, I genuinely just don't get it. Like, what? Why would you turn it down?
I didn't know.
Perform at Super Bowl, said no for whatever reason. Whatever reason, maybe just didn't.
Did he tell you that, or is that like a known thing?
I didn't know that.
I've never heard that either.
What? The who?
Drake.
Oh, yeah.
Said no.
Well, he has. Drake has turned down the Super Bowl a few years.
Why do you think he's turned it down? Because that's really
I don't-
You think I should just ask him what you say?
I don't
to
know.
me.
I don't know why he would turn it down. I mean, you know,
The reason why I don't ask him shit like this is just like, yo, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I think whatever he's gonna tell me, not that he's gonna lie or anything like that, but this is just such a multifaceted subject. Bro, he got to talk about that, not me, right? Because like, I'm pretty sure he did talk to Mealy Ball, but it's like, now we're sitting back thinking, wait, why the fuck did you turn it down? Like, we have more questions than answers, right?
so that's up to the artist, you know, their discretion. Maybe I'm on the road right now. Ones that eventually would have had a halftime. So now, said no for whatever reason. They're down.
Hold on.
Kendrick is one of the ones that
There's another one.
one of the ones that
Spoken to him since the announcement?
yeah,
Okay.
spoke briefly.
About the Super Bowl, or you guys were just like talking about week one
No, the Super Bowl.
Week one
of
About
the
Super
NFL?
Bowl? No, man.
Week one.
No, it was about the announcement. You know, it was just regular shit. Laughed, and you know, he gave me his thoughts on how he felt about it, and you know what he thought was going on. But it was, you know,
Is that something you can share on mic?
what he said.
Yeah.
No, I would never do
Okay.
that. But he's not.
I figured I'd try.
You know,
I
but
kind of
he-
knew the answer.
You know, it's
Appreciate
just
you, Rory.
Yeah.
a lot of it is just laughing, man. It's just like, you know, like word, like this is what y'all want to see. Like,
Yeah.
okay, all right,
We do.
obviously people don't. Like, the whole internet is upset about it. The sticky part about all of this is
Yeah, a slight criticism of Drake. Yo, Drake, it's these moves that make what Kendrick did in that battle seem to never end. Like, again, I'm just going back to a rudimentary, like, lightweight criticism of Drake. That's still a GOAT. But yes, Drake, Kendrick following up his diss song with the Pop Out, a video, and the Super Bowl makes the moment look way bigger than what it is. And that's kind of what you're missing a lot from how you're moving, right? Like, again, I've always said Kendrick's great at making these moments, but these moments almost help dictate the culture and the narrative. I wish Drake could take a little page from his book. Like, one page, just that page. Because I'm telling you, when I watched last year, I was just like, yo, and I remember hearing the whole New Orleans thing. I was like, Drake and Wayne got to do the next Super Bowl. I remember hitting him. I said, yo, you got to do Super Bowl. Like, Drake, imagine a Super Bowl, Drake and Wayne, or Drake, Wayne, and Nicki. Bro, it's over. It's over. Matter of fact, that would have been such a dope move. That would have been the move to get people off of this constant obsession with, yo, Kendrick's gonna perform A minor. These moments that Kendrick are having, Half of it is created by strategy, being shrewd, and setting up these things that culturally you can't turn away from. That's just true. You get what I'm saying? Somebody said read the Rolling Stones article. What Rolling Stones article? Oh, like why the fuck did he go immediately on Diddy? So, I don't know. I kind of had mixed feelings about hearing that Drake turned it down, right? It's like, dog, why are we turning down Super Bowls? Like, it doesn't have to be this year. It's just like, bro, if Drake did the Super Bowl in 2020, it would have been amazing. 2021, any of those years. Like, I don't get why you turn it down. I don't get it. Like, that's the confusing part of it all, right? It's like, whatever. Anyway. What am I looking at on Rolling Stone? Am I looking at something Kendrick related? Oh. Is it this? Jay-Z explains? No. What am I looking at on Rolling Stone, people? Huh? Somebody said Drake ain't doing no free concert. Bro, it's the biggest concert in the world. Or at least our world. What do you mean he's not doing a free concert? Bro, it's the Super Bowl. Bro, you realize that Kendrick hasn't dropped music since May, and we're talking about the nigga off of headlines. This announcement's about to go into a whole week. He's locked a whole week down in conversation with a headline of a performance. What do you mean? Like, bro, come on. This is clearly a big deal. Yeah, I'm a little confused. Anyway, we will see. We will see. Okay. What am I looking at on Rolling Stone? Y'all said go here, but I don't know what you want me to look at. Again, if Drake turned down 4 Super Bowls, it's kind of piggybacking off what I said before, man. Like, but that sounded lazy, bro. Like, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. And I suggested this to Drake too, like years ago. I was just like, yo, Drake, you've done. I think I said this to him after Scorpion. This is after Scorpion. I said, bro, you've done everything you could do, bro. You know what you got to do next, right? The greats have done this. Eminem has done this. 50 has done this. Even T.I. has done this. The only thing you haven't done yet, Drake, your next album, you got to drop a movie at the same time. Be number 1 in the fucking world with music and in the box office. Bro, you're an actor. Like, do that. I think he told me, he was like, yo, that's kind of played out. And I was like, all right, I guess. But still, I was like, bro, like, these are, like, it's like, you got to, like, I'm thinking, and again, I think Drake really, when he says it, you got to believe him. He's really just all about the music, because I don't think he's like, oh, let me do these plays, because that would be the play, right? Like, nigga, do a movie. Matter of fact, do like a biopic and do a album. Put it together. Partner with, I don't know, Sony Pictures. Like, even Jay-Z at that point of his career when he's such a legend, he partners with Samsung. You get 50 partner with Lions. I can, like, it's like these bigger than music plays almost, right? Like, I feel like Drake still does the same thing. Yo, album dropping Friday. I'll catch y'all on OVO Sound Radio. And it's like, it's still gonna be number 1 because he's the biggest. But like, if you put like half an effort into it, like a little bit, right? More than like, and you gotta realize, the rollout for Drake will be like, look at the album cover. Like, this was your whole rollout. The whole rollout for the album, my nigga. The whole rollout for all the dogs was look at my son's drawing. Like, yo, bruv, please, let's do some shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I know Drake fans gonna be a little bit tight to me because, I know he's constantly under attack now. And of course, I'm one of his biggest fans. And when someone's under attack, you don't want to pile on. But, it's just constructive criticism, right? Because we're talking about the GOAT. Forget Kendrick. I want Drake to take this out of the book of Kanye. Presentation. That's it. If there was a artistic approach to presentation and marketing, Drake's music would look so much more genius. He wouldn't just looked at as just a rapper. He would be seen as this genius guy. Yo, Kanye West don't write half of his raps. But when he's about to roll his shit out, he says, yo, I'm projecting a video on this side of this building, this here. He does the most creative. Yo, I'm shutting down the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and performing live. You're going to hear the album live with the performance before you hear it. Bro, that is so artistic that we just look at, like, despite him not writing his raps, we're like, this is fucking genius. This is why Kanye's GOAT. His presentation is top fucking tier. I think that's all I want Drake to do. Like, bruv, I'm glad your son paints really good pictures. I'm glad you found out the pregnant emojis. Bruv, could we get a movie? Could we get something that is like packaged with this that showcases that you're the biggest artist and you're on another level? Like even Taylor Swift is coming with like a whole fucking experience for her fans. Hey, here's the vinyl experience. Here's this experience. Here's this experience. Swifties, let's do this. Drake just drops some music and that's it. And perhaps it's very unfair because I do think a lot of criticisms of Drake is unfair. Maybe it's the niggas behind him, like Mr. Morgan. Que lo que, my brother? Like, what are you doing? Like how are we not seeing like these like really artistic approach and rollouts for these guys who are this guy who's like pretty much the greatest rapper? I don't know. All right, I don't know why somebody told me to go on here, but still, I hope Drake is this heavily involved in the whole World Cup thing, and it could turn into some artistic kind of output and also some music. So we still have hope. We still have hope, people. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Sorry, hold on. All right, so we do have Rich Homie Quan's death incident report. And this kind of tells us a lot, right? So this is the incident report about the death of Rich Homie Quan. What it tells us is the people that were involved in the sense of, people that were at this house. By the way, I don't want to dox him or whatever the case is, but, he lived in a big house. Apparently, not only his kids were there, not only his baby mama was there, but apparently his brother was there, okay? So his brother was there, and I think it's the Quantes Lamar. I think, who's that? Is that his name? The Quantes Lamar? Yeah, that's his name. But then there's somebody else. I don't know if it's Andre or Tyrese. No, I don't think it's Harris. I think it's Andre. I think that's his brother. Regardless, let me read this incident report. It's going to give a little bit of detail, right? It says on 9/5/2024 at approximately 11:29, and I guess this is in the morning, so 11:29 a.m., Officer Dorsal, Unit 2412, was dispatched to a call in regards to an injured person at the location of blah, blah, blah. He says, when I arrived, I made contact with Mrs. Amber Williams, who told me that at 6:45, which basically it's 5 hours before then, she woke up to bring the kids to school and noticed that her significant other was not in the bedroom. Miss Williams stated that she woke up and saw him asleep on the sofa. When she came back from dropping the kids off at school, she saw he was still sleeping. She then proceeded to the bedroom and fell asleep at approximately 11 hours, right? 1100 hours, which is 11 o'clock. She woke up to go check on him, and that was when she observed that his body was cold and called 911. The male was identified as Mr. DeQuantis Lamar with a birthday of whatever. While on scene, I did not observe any foul play. Mr. Lamar did not appear to be alert, conscious, or breathing. Miss Williams advised me that Mr. Lamar did not have any medical or underlying issues. Grady Bus 786 was on scene and transported him to the Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. I also spoke to Mr. Andre Munford, which is the brother of the decedent. It says, who informed me that he woke up at approximately 3 a.m. and noticed that Mr. Lamar had fallen asleep on the floor near the kitchen counter. Mr. Mumford advised me that it was very unusual because he had food in his mouth. He lifted him up and put him on the sofa. I'm unable to get a statement from Mr. Fearless quick because he was in shock, but later was cooperative once homicide arrived on the scene. I stand with saying that I don't believe any foul play was involved with Rich Homie Quan's death. I do think it's an accidental overdose. And even though y'all going to say, oh, no, this person tried to kill him, this and third, I really think it's an accidental overdose. What I will say is that this still alarmed me. A few things. I think the brother's statement was very alarming. If you find your brother passed out with food in his mouth, like, you have to remember, we know people fall asleep. We know sometimes people be off drugs and maybe pass out. But if you find them unconscious, or you find them where you think they're sleeping and food is in their mouth, they couldn't even finish chewing the food, I would probably be like, yo, are you okay? Let me get you some water. What is going on? Not, oh, I'm going to just put you on the couch. I'm going to just put you on the couch to sleep. That would have been a red flag for me. Now, I don't believe this brother didn't care for Rich Homie Quan. I don't believe that this brother is nothing but a loving brother. So what this does tell me, and this is the only reasonable conclusion I could come to, is perhaps that this brother has seen Rich Homie Quan in many precarious positions due to his drug use, that we've played videos here before where people even verbally said to Rich Homie Quan, you're a junkie. Now, granted, we as a population and the public and fans, we probably didn't see too much of the quote-unquote junkie behavior, but apparently people around him didn't know of his drug use. And if he did die of drug, it's very possible that maybe the drug use was rampant and was going on for months, if not years. So them finding him passed out, even though passed out with food in their mouth is a little bit unusual, they thought, oh, no, he's just off that shit again. Let's just make sure he's, put him on the couch, make sure he's good. Again, there's no conversation about them checking vitals at that point. And allegedly, the young woman, which is the baby mom's, only checked his vitals when instructed by the police when she called 911. So essentially, I got to believe that his drug use was so normal that they felt, oh, he going to be all right, just put him back on the couch. That's also a problem if that was the case, right? Again, very sad. These are additional details that come in about Rich Homie Quan's passing. Obviously, the official toxicology report has not been concluded yet, even though they are saying that they have done all necessary things with the body. They're apparently releasing the body, or have released the body to the, so the medical examiner has released it to the morgue. The family is then going to plan a funeral, and they want to do a supposed extravagant funeral that is public, over the top, because they feel like Rich Homie Quan was a legend, and he was, and that the fans deserve to have their day of mourning with Quan as well. So he's going to have a public funeral. Don't know where the venue is going to be at, but apparently we're hearing from the medical examiner and the detectives that they have concluded all the autopsy and collected whatever samples they needed to run whatever test they will do later, which obviously is going to be a toxicology report. So we're going to hear an official cause of death or method of death based on what they find with that. But apparently they no longer need to keep the body. So they're going to release it to the father, and the father's going to go forward with a funeral. Again, I don't want to blame the brother, even though I did mention that didn't sound too normal. Grief is a hell of a thing, bro. And I don't want to add on to the stress the family is feeling by even remotely suggesting that his brother could have either saved his life or done something, because sometimes when you're overstricken with grief, you especially with a loved one, you start thinking about what you could have done, how you could have done something different, how you could have proceeded. So, I hope God helps that entire family. They're going through a very tough time, right? Yeah. I am hearing that the GOAT, Taylor Swift, has issued an endorsement, and niggas is telling me the election is over because big Taylor Swift, the most powerful woman in the Western Hemisphere, has now officially co-signed Kamala. She wrote, like many of you are watching the debate tonight, if you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware of a AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run that was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers. Oh my God, my God, bro. Taylor Swift always has some type of music business axe to grind no matter what she's talking about, bro. Obviously, she's a leader in that aspect, and she's done some good, for example, with streaming. But Taylor Swift is such a politician. She's like a robot, my nigga. No pun intended. Like, she's kind of introducing a point that's going to be the subject of a big fight between labels, between publishers, and between artists. So she starts talking politics and she starts talking about AI and her fears about it, because eventually she's going to tackle that in music. So recently I was made aware of AI, of me falsely endorsing Trump presidential run, posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala because she fights for the rights and causes I believe I need a warrior to champion them. I think she's a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we could accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of a running mate, Tim Walz, who has been standing up for the LGBTQ plus rights. IVF, and a woman's rights to her own body for decades. I've done my own research and I've made my choice. Your research is all yours to do, and the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially for first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it much easier to vote early. A link where you could register and find early voting dates and info in my story. With love, Taylor Swift, Childless Cat Lady. God damn, fucking Taylor Swift, man. Yo, when Taylor Swift speaks, nigga, she's like the president. She didn't put the link in her bio yet. She about to crash whatever site, nigga. Holy shit. All right, well, there you have it, people. Taylor Swift, the most powerful musician and one of the most powerful people. I would say her influence at this point would be tantamount to Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kim K. Not that Kim K is like whatever, but still, she's operating in this sphere recently. And I would think everybody combined, for whatever reason, Taylor's popularity is it's King Taylor, bro. If Kamala wins this election, it's because of Taylor Swift. And I know that might sound like ignorant, but like, come on. If you know, you know, bro. If you know, you know. All right. Shout out to her. Couple other things that's going on. Let me see. Did I play what Juvie said? I think I'm gonna play that before. Big news that came down. A Michigan inmate has won a $100 million judgment against Sean Diddy Combs for sexual assault. Now, hold your horses. This is completely clickbait, and of course, every media outlet, shit, even us, we ran it because it's factual, but there's a big caveat. The way this guy won this judgment is not because a jury of his peers or a judge, listen to the case and say, hey, we believe the merits lie with the facts or the allegations that you're making. For whatever reason, Diddy did not respond to this, okay? So the story goes, a Michigan inmate known for his long history of challenging the judicial system with civil lawsuits has been awarded a $100 million default judgment against an embattled entertainment mogul as Sean Diddy Combs. The award was issued on Monday by Lenawee County Circuit Court Judge Anna Marie Anazone following a temporary restraining order granted to Derek Lee Cardello Smith against Combs in August. Combs, who's become the target of multiple lawsuits and criminal investigations in 2024, allegedly drugged and sexually assaulted Cardello Smith in 1997 at a party in Detroit, according to court records. He crossed paths with Combs while he was working in Detroit, in a Detroit restaurant and in the hospitality business, and he's a self-taught student of civil and criminal statutes, and he is serving an unrelated sentence at the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility in Muskegon Heights. So essentially, you have a inmate who learned law because he got all the time in the world, and now he's filing and firing off civil suits against all type of people. One of the people happened to be Diddy. His lawyers didn't respond. The request for the judgment was $100 million, and because Diddy didn't respond, the court has agreed with the person that made the complaint, right? Even though it's a civil complaint. Says Cardello says he goes way back with Combs. He told a bunch of times, and he provided prison facility information revealing that Combs' name was logged in the visitation records, and said that Combs, the Bad Boy Records CEO, offered him $2.3 million to dismiss the lawsuit. Now, I think that's cap, but he's putting that in a affidavit and a filing, which I hope there's some proof, because lying in court is crazy. So they're saying that he says Diddy pulled up on him in jail, offered him $2.3 million to dismiss the lawsuit, but he turned it down. This August 7th order was to prevent Diddy from selling assets that could be potentially used to compensate Cardell Smith for possible damages. He's one of the mountain number of recent plaintiffs against Combs, alleging violence or sexual assault. In August hearing, Cardell Smith told the court that he and Combs directly discussed the lawsuit. He says Diddy told him, you know how we get down. And basically, it was a response to his threat to proceed with action instead of accepting an out-of-court settlement. This is all cap. This is some type of this is a bored inmate, and this just shows you how the legal system could be abused and misused, especially on a civil level. Well, you have a guy who learns how to file lawsuits because he's probably in a law library in prison. So he learns the tricks of the trade that he could pretty much represent himself through at least the complaint stage. And he files a lawsuit against Diddy. And yes, some people pick it up because they're picking up all type of cases about him. So some media people pick it up. And then now, somehow, they satisfied the whole we served him shit. And because he didn't respond, they got a judgment, which is a default judgment. Now, let me tell you how this works. Not because he gets a default judgment means he gets money directly. However, let's say Diddy had to pay $100 million. It's up to Diddy. There's no time you have to pay it necessarily. And there kind of is, but if you go over it or you didn't pay yet, as long as you intend to pay, what could they really do to you? Especially if you then come back and say you're insolvent or you're indigent, so you don't have the money to pay it. So again, Diddy has a lot of leeway in terms of not only challenge the lawsuit, because now he'd be saying, hey, I didn't know about the lawsuit. We're ready to challenge it now. So they would vacate that judgment for $100 million. I think that's what's probably going to happen. And then they got to see if this guy has a case. Now, this guy's saying that he got touched. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, bro, I hate to judge a book by its cover, but you a grown-ass man. You saying that Diddy fondled you, bro? That's what you're trying to tell me? Diddy fondled your balls or some shit? Get out of here. So this $100 million settlement will probably be reversed when Diddy lawyers gets on him. But that's the thing that happens with default judgment if you don't pay attention. And by the way, that did happen to the game with a situation similar for $7 million. Anyway, Law and Crimes. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It talks about Diddy. It gives a little bit more detail about Diddy and what's been going on with him. Listen, wait, hold on.
What I just want to say is...
here's actual footage from the court hearing with the guy who's suing Diddy. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Sorry, John.
One meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life that require his money right now, and he wants to sell everything off. And he made me a financial offer of $2.3 million to allow what happened to me to go away. And he stated that he's going to be selling his property. And under the 2005 California Civil Code 2881
This is an inmate, but he clearly knows the statutes, the statutes that he needs to quote to basically speak in legalese that could probably impress a judge, and for the judge to say, you know what, hey, we're cool with you not having a representative, and also you could speak for yourself in court.
2885, the creation of liens, which allows out-of-state justices and orders to cause a stop of any title transfer, property transfers in Los Angeles or any other place that he has property. He stated that he wouldn't be able to proceed with that sale. And he did it the day after I served him the suit. And he also said that he won't be filing an answer to the complaint. He said, you can find me in default or whatever. He has a better chance with default than he would with having a restraining order stop. And I said, so you want to hide you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me. And he pretty much said, yeah. He goes, you know how we get down. And I said, okay, well, I disagree with how you get down. Your sale shouldn't go through.
So I'm gonna hold on.
I'm sorry.
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Cadello Smith. Okay, so you went in a different direction than I thought you were going into. I thought we were just gonna focus. No.
We are.
You kind of went off on a different direction than what your actual motion was.
Yeah.
So what I just want to say is settlement negotiations.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
In this case, are probably better not. Yeah, they're not to be placed on the record today. Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You're not an attorney. I understand that. So if we can just backtrack and focus just on your motion.
Yes, ma'am. I get what you want.
Okay, thank you.
The motion stems from Combs listing his Los Angeles mansion, the same home raided by the feds in March. According to Cardello Smith, he wanted to prevent the sale of the mansion because it would deprive him of any monetary judgment if the civil matter went to a jury trial.
If he's allowed to sell his property that he has in LA and the properties that are in his name being used and held by other people in Michigan, then it will cause me harm because I can be tied directly to those properties through loans and through other areas of investment that I did when I was out there and while in prison through money that I've sent. And if he's allowed to go through with any of the sales, I won't be able to recoup any of my monies or anything from him as a result of any possible judgment in this action, if he's allowed to proceed with it. And an injunction or a restraining order would help ensure that he's not manipulating and selling the property to avoid this.
Yeah, so he's trying to get like an injunctive, well, still restraining order, but basically prevent Diddy from selling off the crib because that's $61 million potentially. That would be cash that could pay off this guy as a civil, damage, if he wins the case. Obviously, Diddy didn't respond to it, and again, you're gonna hear how the judge kind of comes to the decision of saying, "I'm just gonna grant you the $100 million, bro."
His responsibility in these matters here. That's what a temporary restraining order would do. It would prevent that from happening because it's a very serious matter. It involves a lot of money, and him selling this would help him avoid his liability for these actions done upon me. And I was just hoping that I'd be able to get the restraining order to prevent that. There won't be any harm to him, any of the parties. There won't be any harm to him in any way. And if it's deemed that it's not justified, then he can go ahead and go through with the sale at the end of the case. But one has to be put in place to stop this from happening.
The judge then stepped off the bench for a few moments to review Cardello Smith's documents. When she returned, she granted the temporary restraining order.
So, thank you, sir. Is there anything else you wish to add?
First off, just thank you for giving me the hearing and thank you for setting a pretrial on this matter. Thank you, Your Honor. There were some other filings that you should have gotten. I didn't know if that's one of the filings you could have been referring to.
So I received your complaint and all the attachments to it. And then I received this motion. And I just wanted to take a moment to review back through the U.S. District Civil Docket and your complaint. So I did do that. That's all. And
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as this seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a proof of service showing that Mr. Combs was served on July 6th of 2000 and let me see, is that 24?
Yes, Your Honor.
Looks like it. 2024, return receipt requested was provided. So there is proper service. Mr. Combs has neither appeared nor responded to this request. So I'm going to grant your motion for a preliminary injunction temporary restraining order and order that the defendant and their agents are hereby enjoined temporarily for a period of 90 days from the sale, transfer, or exchange, trade, or transaction of title or deed to the property listed as the address and placed on the market by defendants for the amount of $70 million. And this property and estate belonging to or connected to defendant Sean Combs shall cease and desist any and all trades, transactions, or otherwise stop the process.
What type of clown show is this? So technically, obviously, you know, I'm pretty sure if they interrupted Diddy selling the house, lawyers would go to the courts within California. I don't think this guy's in California. I think this guy's in where's the guy's at? He's in somewhere else. But regardless, they would go to another court in California, and Diddy would just get that court to overrule this restraining order that the sale could go through. So I think Diddy could still sell this shit, but now Diddy got to spend more money and jump through more legal loopholes because this random guy, who I don't even know if Diddy knows him, got a fucking restraining order or like an injunctive like order saying, injunction order saying that Diddy cannot sell his crib.
Any further actions on this property being continued, and this shall have an immediate effect. I'm going to date this August 7th of 2024. And I am going to sign this. And we are set for a pretrial date on Monday, September 9th of 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Is there anything else? Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much, Your Honor. First off, thank you very much, ma'am. The second thing is, under the summons rules and the court rules of service, Mr. Combs, the defendant, had 28 days after he was served by mail, 21 if it's regular process service. His 28th day was the August 3rd, and there was no answer.
Yo, this is why you can't. This nigga has been in the law library learning all the fucking legal mumbo jumbo, and you could tell even the judge seems a little bit smitten. She's impressed by, oh, okay, oh, you served him at this time. He had this amount of time to respond, because the judge actually set a pre-trial date for pretty much today, right? So it would have been today or yesterday actually, and this guy is saying, we don't need that because they're currently actually in default according to the law.
Answer on the default, and I understand that I have to motion verbally or in writing, whichever one you prefer, however you prefer, to have default judgment entered. And today is literally the 32nd day, I believe. And I'd like to either preserve the issue of default judgment or judgment in my favor based on failure to answer.
Okay.
Whichever Your Honor would like.
All right. Thank you. Typically, we require that. Ms. McGrain. Is Ms. McGrain in her office? Oh, no, I'm hold on. I'm talking to my judicial attorney. Typically, we require the motion for the affidavit and motion for default be filed. So Miss Adams, is Miss McGrain in her office?
She is not. I'm going to go find her right now, Judge.
Okay.
I know. I read that rule. I read the rule, Your Honor. MCR 2.60.
Yeah, this is some like hillbilly county in motherfucking Michigan, bro.
3 governs that, and it said the party can do it in front of the trial court judge or by mail, whatever you want.
So, sir, the court rule that you're referring to, it's not a trial date, so I think I'm right. So you're going to have to file the affidavit and request for default, okay?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
And obviously, you'll be able to file that before a pretrial date anyway, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so the order was granted?
The order, your ex parte motion was granted, or your motion for a temporary restraining order was granted. I've signed it.
Look at his face.
So we'll get that.
This thing is bored as fucking jail, man. He's like, yo, he's like, if everybody claiming Diddy fucked him, Diddy fucked me too, pause. That's what he's saying.
That processed and back to you, and then you'll have to obviously serve that on the parties.
First, I want to bring on now a great guest to discuss this.
Okay.
Put forward against Mr. Combs.
All right. Anyway, Diddy's lawyers did respond to this. Diddy lawyer. He basically said that, Diddy does not know this guy. And it says Diddy's never heard of him. And actually, in a statement, Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, strongly denies the claims, saying this man is a convicted felon and a sexual predator who's been sentenced on 14 counts of sexual assault and kidnapping over the last 26 years. His resume now includes committing fraud on the court from prison, as Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit. Mr. Combs looks forward to having this judgment dismissed swiftly. So yeah, I'm pretty sure what they're going to do is they're going to probably have like a little hearing. He probably got some little boof-ass process server to sign some affidavit that they either gave Diddy some paperwork with the lawsuit, or maybe it was seen that like the court allowed him to just drop the paper on Diddy's property or whatever, and that's the serving. Regardless, the court process isn't to be abused by people trying to get quick payday. So from what I'm hearing, Diddy's paying like $2 or $3 million a month to these lawyers. Yeah, y'all job is to get up in court on all these cases, especially this now, and get this judgment vacated, and also pretty much get the default judgment pretty much vacated, that they could actually go to court. Actually, not even going to go to court. Motion for dismissal. You know what I mean? Yo, Diddy don't know you. Show us that Diddy knows you, or else you're wasting the court's time. Show us something in a complaint that could be some type of proof that you met him, you were around him, you hung out with him. If you don't got that, they're going to dismiss that shit. Okay? So I actually think this is a lot of nothing, but I'm actually surprised that this headline, which people only read the headline, was even allowed to be gotten, because Diddy's lawyers are getting paid a lot of money. How do you let any lawsuit sneak by y'all? What the fuck? Anyway.
And the
get dismissed altogether.
In terms of whether or not he'll actually see that money, there's going to be a question there. Like I said, that there are mechanisms that can be set in place so that he can receive that financial compensation.
He ain't seen that money, man. Fuck that. Okay, the next thing is that apparently Diddy 50 Cent's baby moms. 50 Cent's, what's 50 Cent's baby mom's name again? She's apparently, listen to this.
A federal grand jury issues a subpoena in the Sean Diddy Combs grand jury investigation, according to a new report. What does it mean for the federal investigation into the rap mogul? Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. For months, there's been a lot of smoke, but maybe not as much fire when it comes to talk about Sean Combs, the feds, a grand jury, sex trafficking, and possible federal charges. Grand juries, of course, are secret, and their work just isn't supposed to be out in the public, but often there are leaks, and that's happened at times in this case. I'll get to the latest leak, this one involving a hotel in Miami and one of Combs's exes, in just a bit. The Department of Homeland Security raided Combs's homes in California and Florida back in March. That, of course, made international news. Before that, women and even one man filed a flurry of civil lawsuits against Combs, claiming Combs trafficked them, and those lawsuits have continued even after the raid. The first of those lawsuits came from Cassie Ventura nearly a year ago. She dated Combs for years. Cassie's claims were explosive and included claims that Combs forced Ventura to engage in sex acts with other people for Combs's own gratification, and that he also physically assaulted her for years. But Combs settled that suit the next day. That's practically unheard of. Now, while he may have settled the claims for an undisclosed amount of money the next day, he denied, Combs did, that he had ever harmed Cassie. But then in May of this year, CNN published a terrifying and horrific video of Combs chasing Ventura down a hotel hallway, wearing only a towel. He could be seen throwing Ventura to the ground and kicking her, and he could no longer deny that he had abused her.
They're just doing a recap. We're getting to new stuff.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life Sometimes you got to do that. I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Combs later wiped his Instagram clean, including that apology video, and he started posting again just recently. Last week, Combs filed a motion to dismiss another lawsuit filed by record producer Rodney Little Rod Jones. He claimed that Combs drugged and sexually assaulted him and forced him to hire sex workers and to participate in sex acts with those sex workers. Combs denies those allegations. His lawyer wrote, Mr. Jones's lawsuit is pure fiction, a shameless attempt to create media hype and extract a quick settlement. There was no RICO conspiracy, and Mr. Jones was not threatened, groomed, assaulted, or trafficked. We look forward to proving in a court of law that all of Mr. Jones's claims are made up and must be dismissed. Now, the suit filed by Little Rod is just one of nearly a dozen filed against Combs. Adult film actress Adria English filed a suit in July, on the same day that NBC News reported the grand jury was meeting to discuss evidence against Combs. I spoke with English's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell-Kidd.
So in the lawsuit, we pretty much spell out the details of the sex trafficking my client faced at the hands of Mr. Combs at his white parties. So she was essentially sought after due to her relationship with her boyfriend, who was interviewing, or I should say auditioning with Mr. Combs for his Sean John campaign. That's essentially how things came about. And initially she was just approached to be a go-go dancer. It was all very above board initially, and then eventually, with more time, it turned into being sex trafficked. She was sex trafficked in New York in the Hamptons and then in Miami. And these were all during Mr. Combs's white parties that he was throwing. So we essentially outlined the details of that sex trafficking in her lawsuit. And the reason she came forward now, as you know, a lot of people used to be terrified of Mr. Combs. He's blackballed several people, including my client and her then boyfriend, Mr. Gallo, from the industry. So as we all know, there's strength with numbers. So once Ms. Ventura came forward, my client had been looking for an attorney for some time prior to finding me to also file a lawsuit because she had been a victim as well.
Now TMZ is reporting that the grand jury has subpoenaed a hotel in Miami for records dating back to January 1st of 2008, and that one of Combs's exes, Daphne Joy, is also named in those documents. TMZ reports the subpoena was asking for check-in and check-out dates, room numbers, guest preferences and requests, billing information, email addresses, phone numbers, and forms of payment. So basically, everything you could think of that a hotel might have on file, the grand jury wants to see. Little Rod had also named Daphne Joy as someone Combs had paid to perform sex work in his lawsuit. Daphne Joy vehemently denied that allegation in an Instagram post, which has since been deleted. I reached out to Combs Global about this report, about the hotel in Miami and the subpoena. So far, I haven't heard back. I want to take just a moment to tell you about a great lip plumper and sponsor of Crime Fix. It's called City Plumping.
Now, our boy's about to come on here and explain it. So this is what I played all that for you to see. So this is my boy Bradford Cohen. He was right on the money with the whole young boy shit. He's been on here to talk to us. One of the finest not entertainment, but criminal lawyers. But he's criminal lawyers for the stars. He's almost like, if you get in trouble, you want this guy. You pray you never get in trouble, but you get caught with a kilo of coke, dead body in the trunk. You just shot up your ops block. You got three switches. You need this guy right here. Trust and believe. You need him in the Rolodex. I guarantee you. Now, he might take everything you ever worked for, but this guy's worth his weight in gold. Trust me, okay? Him, Brian Steele. Is that my dog? Come here, Penny. Penny. What the fuck? How the hell she get down here? Oh, this is my baby girl. It's a baby girl. Come on. Come. Okay, all right. You shy. That's the little girl. Yo, she big as hell. This was the runts. Look at her. Look at you. You beautiful girl. Oh. I do got some food for you, but just chill out. I'm working. Yeah, she's the smallest. She's the smallest. All right. Yeah. So he's worth his weight in gold. Yeah, him, Drew Finland. Drew Finland, I believe, just got. He's the one who worked on YoungBoy's case, but YoungBoy's getting 27 months. People thought YoungBoy's going to get 10 years. You know, Brian Steele, he said going to defend Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, with every drop of blood he got. He's a guy too. You got to get Sado. Sado is the one that, you know, gonna hit him up saying, yo, bro, I can't take this jail shit no more. They got big booty bitches out in the world. I want to go fuck a hoe. It's all right, say no more. I'm going to go get you a plea. They might call you a snitch for 2 months, but you'll be back on top of the world. Got him out of there. Let me see. Who's in New York? Like I be knowing all these lawyers. I'm thinking about super lawyers. You know, of course, you have, I don't know if I'll put Kenneth Montgomery up there. Nah, Kenneth Montgomery. And there's a lawyer that 50 uses in New York. That's badass, like fucking crazy. But yeah, anyway, I guess that was all a qualifier to say this guy knows what he's talking about. Let's hear him talk about this grand jury subpoena. Here we go.
Former federal prosecutor, so he knows the drill, and he's also represented a lot of high-profile people. So, Bradford, we have this news coming out about this subpoena to a Miami hotel involving Sean Combs and Daphne Joy. So, why is Daphne Joy being brought into this? We know she dated him at one point in time.
So my suspicion is that she probably is making some kind of allegations, and or they're having her appear before the grand jury, or she already appeared before the grand jury and they're now subpoenaing records to back up whatever she said before the grand jury. So there's a kind of a couple different ways to go about it. Sometimes prosecutors will take testimony from a witness, and that testimony would then be corroborated later on from another witness with paperwork or with receipts. Or they interview that individual. She says or he says, hey, I was here on this date. This is what I did on this date. Then they subpoena that information. So when they put that individual in front of the grand jury, they then have the receipts to back up what that person is saying. So they could say, hey, we had dinner at, this restaurant on this date. And then the prosecutor would say, okay, is this what you had to eat? And show the receipt. Yes. Is that the receipt? Yes. Is that why you remember it? Yes. So those type of things are usually why they subpoena that information.
That's interesting you bring that up, because Daphne Joy had put out something on Instagram a while back denying things that Little Rod said in his lawsuit, that claiming that she was being paid by Sean Combs to do sex work. And then all of a sudden that Instagram post disappears. So it kind of makes sense, possibly, if she was brought in front of the grand jury, that she might delete that from her Instagram post or her Instagram page. Do you think that's part of the reason why she deleted that? And I guess 50 Cent, who is her, the father of her child, was kind of giving her some grief, saying things about her being a sex worker and things of that nature. We don't know if that's actually true, but it would make sense that she would delete that after denying it if she were brought in front of the grand jury.
So even though that's a simple thing, there's a lot to unpack there. So number one, someone makes a statement that says, hey, that never happened. Obviously, defense attorneys jump on that right away. So that statement is forever out there, in cyber world. And the defense attorney will have that in case there is a trial, in case there is some sort of motion that's going to be had. So that's the first part of that. The second part of that is, yes, if she was called in front of the grand jury and she gave testimony that's different than what she was posting, I would imagine she'd take those posts down, because it would be kind of idiotic to keep that post up after she already testified in front of a grand jury. Number two is, it could be that she was then subpoenaed after she made that statement, and just the subpoena alone was enough to scare her to take that down. Mm-hmm. Or number three, and this could be likely as well, she had a conversation with the prosecutor who's in charge of the case, and that prosecutor, after speaking with her, said, hey, listen, you probably want to take down anything that you have up that contradicts what you just told me, because that doesn't make any sense. So it could be a couple different reasons why she took it, or it could just be 50 Cent said, hey, get that down. There's a bunch of different reasons. More likely than not, it has something to do with the case and the grand jury.
Well, there's no love lost, we know, between 50 Cent and Sean Combs. I feel like we've been talking about this, about is he going to be indicted for months, because we have. His house was raided, or his homes, I should say, were raided back in March. So this has been going on forever and ever and ever that we've been discussing this. So, I know you were saying you thought it might happen in the summer possibly, and now maybe in September. We are in September now, in the very beginning of September. So obviously the grand jury is meeting. I mean, his own counsel has acknowledged that. So when are we going to possibly see some movement? We know these things can be painstaking and take a long time, especially if they are building a rather large case.
Yeah. So when I first heard about it, when I first heard about the raids, when I first heard about kind of what was going on, my feeling was this should be about 3 to 4 months of a grand jury meeting, and then they'll probably come up with an indictment. What I think has happened since is that investigation has unfolded to the point where I think they're going to include a lot of alleged criminal conduct that's not just having to do with the allegations of sex trafficking and things of that nature. And that is what makes it more difficult, and more evidence and more things that they have to get in order to get those indictments. So now that I'm looking at it, I don't think 6 to 8 months is obnoxious in terms of a grand jury meeting if you're covering a period of anywhere from 10 to 13 years, which I think that's what the indictment is going to cover. I think they're going to allege an ongoing, I don't know if they're going to do a RICO, but I think it's going to look very similar to a RICO, where they're going to allege ongoing criminal conduct that includes, behavior that he's been accused of before, in terms of there were shootings and a car got bombed and all these other things that were allegations against him. I think they are now going to include all of that. And I think that it's going to be a very large indictment. I think you're looking at a 50 to 60 page indictment at a bare minimum. And I think you're looking at multiple counts over a long period of time, or you're looking at 4 or 5 counts, but they're going to include stuff over a long period of time. And I think that's what's taking the grand jury so long. I don't see him just walking away from this grand jury with no charges whatsoever. And we spoke a little bit off camera, is because my belief is when the government puts in the kind of time they're putting in, I don't believe that they ever let someone just walk away from that indictment. I've just never seen that happen before. If you have a grand jury meeting for 4, 5, 6 months and the type of information that they're gathering, I don't see him walking away from this with no charges.
Well, we know it's been at least possibly since July. That's when the first confirmation of it came out. So
Right.
possibly before that, June, the beginning of July is when we got confirmation sort of about it. So it's been a long process, and it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. Sean Combs's lawyer, basically, that his lawyers have said he's never trafficked anyone. So we'll see what happens. Bradford, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Don't you like when I mute? What I was saying is that I had you guys watch that, and this is my guy right here, Bradford Cohen. He does a great job of explaining it. I guess you watching that entire thing was to kind of get the reason of why 50 Cent's baby mama is involved. And there's a few reasons, and he broke down eloquently what reasons it could be. It's most likely that she's turned on Diddy. Now, you have to remember this is a grand jury proceeding. It's unlikely that they would bring her. It seems like she might be either she already testified or will testify in a grand jury proceeding because her name is at the top of the indictment, or not indictment, the subpoena with Diddy. Now, if she's going to be involved in that process, what that says is that she's probably going to be corroborating or saying some details that could help the prosecutors get this indictment, because in a grand jury proceeding, usually they're not eager to bring up witnesses that could offer exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory evidence means evidence to clear Diddy. So they're not going to bring her on the stand and she's going to be like, oh, Diddy's an angel. He's never done anything. Yo, you breathing way too hard, girl. Chill. They're not going to be eager to bring are you good, bro? You good? Okay. They're not going to be eager to bring 50's baby mom up there if she's just going to say, oh, Diddy's a great person. So what probably happened is they probably scared the shit out of her. Hey, listen, you could be a part of this too. You don't tell us what you know. Bro, it's like the woman who did the crime with the niggas who killed Fulio. I'm pretty sure when she was driving from Jacksonville with them, it's gang, we ain't telling on nobody, yo, listen, blah, blah. Yeah, bro, if the first person usually tells is usually a woman, right? Because again, they're going to seem the most innocent in the whole plot, even if there's criminal activity going on. Really, I would say the first person to tell is me, because I'm going to tell before the woman. You got to beat them to the punch. Like, nigga, I'm like, yo, let's get down to the station. Let's get this shit on record. Like, yo, she's in the other car. Yo, get me down there quick. Yo, come on, punch it. Let's go. Anyway, but yeah, so do I believe that Daphne Joy's cooperated? Yeah. Do I think she gives a fuck about 50 Cent? No, not 50 Cent. I mean, Diddy? No. She's probably trying to save her ass. She's probably entered some type of proffer, offered up either videos, text messages, some type of proof that maybe she's kept that could make Diddy look guilty or be guilty in whatever capacity. And I agree with him. She's either said it on the stand already or will say it, and they're just trying to corroborate it. Okay, so you said he had a 15-person orgy at where? Oh, okay, at the W? All right, bet. We're going to just ask for hotel, records to prove y'all were there that night because you're saying that went on there, okay? So again, man, Diddy's in a heap of hot water. As I was watching him, I think I seen him with G-Dep recently. Diddy, G-Dep. Like, he's definitely in New York. Yeah.
Boy artist, be sure to like.
Let's see how we moving, man. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Christian Combs and Justin Combs, they act like there's nothing on planet Earth going on. They're turning up. They're still posting about fucking bitches. Like they don't look like they're worried at all. Which I'm always wondering, like, sometimes if you're going through some shit, your parents will be worried more than you. I would think that not being the person going through it, but you love that person like they love their father, I would think they'd be like completely overwhelmed with concern or like just wondering what the fuck is gonna happen. But nah, these boys be outside like shit. I just seen some shit. It was Christian Combs and a bunch of niggas. Christian Combs. Like, nigga, they be having dance. No, not Christian Combs. Justin Combs. They were having a dance battle outside. I'm like, oh, shit. They don't look concerned at all. Let me see if I see it. Justin Combs, Instagram. Oh, that's his Prince DC. I don't know if it's on here. but I seen it recently. I can probably find it on YouTube. Niggas was dancing like a motherfucker. Justin Combs dancing, yeah. Nigga was turning up. I seen it like yesterday. They don't look too stressed. And not that they have to, right? But shit. Justin Combs. Let's look this week. Where the fuck is it? I seen it on Instagram. Them niggas is all in a circle. Anyway, can't find him. Let me look for it on Twitter. Justin Combs.
Oh, that's crazy. I ain't know. I thought.
I do think that, Diddy is. I personally think Diddy's trying to make things right with God. I think he realized this is in God's hand at this point. He's doing everything he needs to do to be prepared for the process. But I think he's at the point where the simple things matter. Right and wrongs, linking back up with people who may have a salty taste about him as a person. Just kind of coming off more humanish, right? Like just trying to, it's, I would imagine at this point, it's the simple things that matter, right?
He saw him already.
There's a war going on outside.
That's actually
vampires. I ain't more warm like campfire. Matter of fact, I'm raising the roof up. Inside all was rooster.
Yeah, look like, they're doing good. Can't even lie. They are doing good. So, yeah. Honestly, it looks like everything's going good.
I got Uncle G Dep with me. Fresh home. He's back. Back-to-back lamb chops. It's called a rack of lambs, right?
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
See how we moving?
You know what I've been genuinely interested in finding out? Like, obviously, I know these guys have a career. Like, for example, King Combs and even like Justin a bit, right? And clearly Quincy is a guy who, he does like some acting and shit. But these niggas, like, they're living as if they're Nepo babies, right? Like, they're living as if, our dad is up a couple $100 million. I'm wondering if they're still going to be like throwing that wealth around or at some point they're going to be like, the future is uncertain. If I'm hearing what I'm hearing correct, that Diddy's burning through millions of dollars in in lawyer fees. I hear he has dozens of criminal attorneys and then dozens of civil attorneys and then dozens of investigators, right? That are all trying to figure out all of this mess. He's burning through millions of dollars. The burn rate, like right now, he's taking assets and converting it to liquid because he needs the war chest. We don't know if any substantial businesses that he's still involved in, even though we don't know his investments either. Maybe he's been, passively earning a couple $1 million with his investments. Like, maybe. But his son's been flashing like a motherfucker, like this money is gonna be forever. Or maybe it's like it's not even that. They just not gonna walk around like looking all sad.
It was Fashion Week, you know what I'm saying? Light drip today, but look, the cars are speaking for us.
Yeah, he flexing like a motherfucker still.
Yo, rest in peace, Black Bob. Happy birthday, Christian. You're messing with the news, man. Yo, we own the city. On the phone with Diddy. Man, pretty.
First of all,
yeah, I do think that. I think Diddy's trying to make it. I think he's going through a spiritual cleansing right now, and I think all the people he, I won't say necessarily fucked over while he was getting to the top, but let's just say disregarded or probably didn't pay that much attention to. I think this is a time where he realizes if any time is a time, he needs to, reach out, connect with these people, make sure that who knows what the future lies. Like, these people don't come back around later when other people try kicking his back in and they're on, and these people are on their team, whoever is trying to kick his back in, because somebody felt slighted from 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So I think he's trying to right a lot of his, he's trying to atone for some of his sins, make his spirit right with God, and also, trying to make some of these relationships that people may have thought was one-sided or that he left them for dead, make them feel valued, which I don't think that's a bad strategy at all, okay? So we'll see what happens with that. Yo, would you let your sister go to a 20v1 with Dr. Umar? Well, he's apparently going to do one, and this is his standards right here.
Me to do the 20 verse 1 in Atlanta with the sisters. What do y'all think about that, y'all? Where they bring 20 queens out, pick the queens I like, and then it's a round 2 and a round 3. But my problem with the 20 versus 1 is this. How do I know everybody is a biological woman? That's my problem with the Atlanta 20 versus 1. Atlanta is Transformer Central. How do I know all 20 of those queens are organic women? You can't even check the birth certificate because they can change the birth certificate too. So I don't really know. This could be a COINTELPRO operation. If we're going to do this, I need proof that these were biological queens. I need to see baby pictures. I need to see baby pictures, elementary school pictures, middle school pictures, and high school prom pictures. I need to see pictures from every stage of their life. All 20 of them got to be thick in the thighs and natural hair. They could be 5'5" thick in the thighs, 4'12" thick in the thighs, 6'1" thick in the thighs. And the hair better be all natural. Oh, man. With no European hair color. Organic queens only. Healthy, organic.
This nigga's a healthy, organic.
Healthy, organically natural queens.
Yo, this is one of those joints where like I feel like we're approaching almost, a saturation point, or like just a maximum capacity point, where the only likely option or next step is, with how much he talks about how he's against interracial relationships or no snow bunnies. They always say that God's humor is like, I forgot what it is. There's a saying. It's always like sarcasm and irony is like God's humor. How much y'all want to bet like in the next 5 years we find out that this nigga fucking a snow bunny, bro? Like, he got some snow bunny hidden away. He been dicking her down once every 2 weeks, and she gets mad one day and fucking airs it out. He got all type of pictures with Dr. Umar laid up. Dr. Umar was hiding it. You get what I'm saying? Dr. Umar hitting it from the back while he got shackles on or some shit like that, like some crazy shit. Because I ain't gonna lie. He been going too hard against nobody. It don't make no sense, bro. It don't make no sense. He's made snow bunnies the forbidden fruit in his story, which, if we know the story of man, eventually the forbidden fruit, man who is weakened by the flesh, usually is tempted to see what the hype is about. So I'm almost certain eventually we finna catch this nigga with a snow bunny. We're just hoping, man. Actually, that should be hilarious as hell. You know what I mean? Fuck it. But we'll see. We'll see. Interestingly enough, did y'all hear my man Tyrese? Oh, actually, let me read this donation. This is about Bobby's World. Thank you. Bobby's World 876. Thank you. It says, they probably try to use Drake for the Super Bowl. The years Colin kneeled. I don't remember Super Bowl having an artist during their run. Always after when they needed the buzz. So you think it was when it was pre-Jay that they tried to get Drake? I don't know. Maybe Drake's run's been for a while. Who knows? By the way, Unc and Ocho talked about Lil Wayne not being respected.
You in New Orleans and don't have Weezy on that thing?
I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. When it comes to people that headline the Super Bowl, I always think about who has the visibility and can be relatable to all demographics that are going to be watching. From a business standpoint, Lil Wayne. And it just made sense. Kendrick Lamar, based on what he's done, his accolades, and him being on the run that he's been on this year, I kind of understand it. I get it.
How you gonna come to LA and not have Snoop D-O-double-G? But you can't come to New Orleans? No matter what you think, Lil Wayne probably, he a top 5, he in my top 5. A lot of people got him as the GOAT, but Lil Wayne got to be there in some capacity. He gotta be, Ocho. I feel bad because I know he wanted it too. Don't really talk to him that much now, but I know that would have meant the world to him.
Yeah. Other people spoke. I think we played Juvie before. There was Fabulous actually spoke, but he spoke in defense of Jay, because he said, I don't know why people think Jay-Z was behind that. Let me see if I can find that. Fabulous. He said this.
I also see them like blaming Jay-Z. I know Jay-Z is on kind of the panel for the Super Bowl halftime show and kind of has his hands in that. But I don't always, I do want to probably put it out there, I don't always think like the decision is one-sided, like people are just, but I guess if you the face, if you the Jay-Z of it, then that's why people can, the same thing like with the president. The president gets a lot of everything put on them, but it'd be like people behind the scenes, the Senate, the House of Reps. It's different people who vote for shit and make it happen that you don't know who the they are. They're not the face of it. So I think Jay gets that, and even salute to that, because he's still, knowing that every celebrity or every person won't take a position being the face because they know that they got to take the blame and all of that. So, but I do see like people blaming it like solely.
Hey, this is why Wayne needs to. This is exactly why Wayne needs to perform in New Orleans, because here's the thing. Shout out to Fab, but regionally, you're not gonna really see a New York nigga get at Jay-Z about that. There's a storied history between Cam and Jay and Mason Jay. That's why you see they did it. But the majority of people from New York is going to hold Jay down and kind of deflect. And that's the beauty of, being an important figure to a city where other rappers is going to respect that, and they're going to speak up on your behalf and they're going to defend you. That's exactly what it should be for New Orleans. That's why Wayne should be performing there. That should be Wayne's spot there. But anyway, let me continue.
On Jay-Z, when I don't think that's the truth. I think it's a committee, it's a board. I feel like it's different people who come into play when decisions like that are made. I do think it would have been great for Lil Wayne to be, just because of how much he's done in the game and how much he's meant to New Orleans, and that would have been a great opportunity. Never know if he's going to be included, if that was something that was behind the scenes. I think it was interesting that Kendrick got it after the Drake battle and shit too. I think that's more something that should be talked about. I think his relevance is really up from that, so that could be something that.
Okay, Fat Joe also chimed in.
The beef with the NFL was that black people wasn't represented, and they was doing us wrong, even though we was the talent, whatever the case. But then they put Jay-Z and Rock Nation to do the shows, and they brought out Dr. Dre Eminem, everybody, #1 ratings, Rihanna. They killing it. So now, of course, the hip hop community likes to attack the hip hop. And so, yeah, Jay-Z's a big voice. But he got to go through the NFL ranks, the Roger Goodells, everything like that. So they can come out with who's performing at halftime. It ain't just one man's decision that I know of. And so, to just throw the blame on the man, how about if he wasn't doing these shows, it'd be no hip hop? Y'all, Jason Lee, what's up, my brother? If he wasn't doing the halftime, the Rock Nation, there'd be no hip hop because there never was hip hop. You be listening to Don't Go Messing With It, Cotton Eye Boy, Cotton Eye Joe, Cotton Eye Joe. You be listening to that shit at halftime. And so, be careful what you wish for. You all in the muck.
Hey, by the way, to address a couple of super chats, thank you. Self-explanatory sent in a couple $20 donations. He was going back at my point I was making about Drake in the Super Bowl, and I was just like, I if Drake did turn it down, I don't get why he would. Like, I mean, genuinely, I just don't get it. Also, I did criticize Drake on. I feel like there's a lackadaisical approach to the position he's in, and it's great that organically he's the biggest in the world, but we see how much people like Travis Scott try to even look 10 times, or not 10 times, but look way bigger than he actually is, and a lot of time his presentation makes it look like that. I don't see a problem with that, but also I don't know why Drake doesn't do it at all. Anyway, self-explanatory says, yo, Ack, you sound like a whole female, bro. When you are who you are, you don't have to prove it. You claim to be his #1 fan, but you're never satisfied. Stay in your place as a fan then. Well, here's the thing. Yo, as a fan, you gotta criticize it. Bro, you don't compare, like, this is why when it comes to I think Drake's the best rapper of all time, right? But Drake's not the best artist of all time. This is why Kanye is like a million miles ahead of him, right? Like, these are things that matter. When you're touting and you're rapping that you're Michael Jackson or you're whatever Michael Jackson, like, remove the weird shit from it, people. But Michael Jackson was not only the consummate performer, but his artiste lent also to amazing, displays of art just beyond the performance on the record. Like, I don't think that's like some crazy shit I'm asking for. Like, yeah, we kind of want dope shit, right? Like, this is art overall. And when we look at other artists that can't match his talent in rapping, a lot of them excel with the art. Whether it's Tyler, the Creator, obviously Kanye, the GOAT, shit, even Kendrick. I mean, like, a lot of, like, it's so funny for the Drake fans who don't want Drake to receive any criticism. Bro, even in criticism, it's a compliment because we're comparing this guy to the highest level of artists that pretty much he's competing with people who are dead. The moment you don't keep pushing an artist and you allow them to give you anything, they start giving you sloppy Joe because you take anything. So again, I think that's a light critique, but I do think that critique is kind of noted when you see all of the things that make an artist or really bring artistry to another level is ignored. I get it with the award shows, but whether it's like the preparation, the presentation, it's a little bit lackluster. And yeah, I mean, a Super Bowl performance is a huge fucking thing. You get what I'm saying? It's like, we've only had the greatest artists of all time perform at the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's important. And I understand self-explanatory. You're probably like, yo, bro, Drake's getting attacked or getting criticized. And that's why I don't like the politics of the game that's happening now, right? Because they want me to be DJ Head, right? So, like, I'm supposed to just say Drake's he could do no wrong. Like, if Drake takes a shit, I'm like, oh my God, this smells amazing. No, nigga, no. I reserve my right to criticize him. These are light criticisms. I'm saying the nigga is the GOAT. I want him to present his art as the fucking GOAT, right? I want him to present it. What he's doing is bigger than what everybody else is doing. Like, it confuses the fans where we know Drake's the biggest artist, but how do you explain that Travis Scott outsells Drake? Oh, I guess you could say, well, Drake just doesn't give a fuck, and Travis cares a lot. Yeah, but whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Lack of effort or not caring is just not the thing, right? Also, I do think part of the remedy for Drake is these moves. I think the World Cup is a move. I think these are moves that he's making, right? And also, if we look at him as he's, before, let's go back to the lyric where he says, I used to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay. Jay became Jay off business moves. Yeah, the prerequisite is being a really good rapper, but Jay's business savvy, and whether he took, was it Blueprint 3 and he partnered with Magna Carta, or no, it was Magna Carta Holy Grail. He partnered with Samsung when he gets his own streaming service. Like, these are all moves that I think makes Jay like, oh, okay, this is why he's him. On a business level, Kanye, what makes Kanye is look at the rollout that the nigga had for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Look at the rollout for 808s and Heartbreaks. Look at the rollout for even The Life of Pablo, right? Like, look at how he presents his art. So, anyway. Did I read everything? Okay, good. Yeah. And Billy Movado, thank you. It says, maybe Drake wants to do it later in his career. Maybe he was thinking about his image and rather do it later years. That could be true, too. That could have been true. Right? That could have been true. But I do think maybe it's tradition or nostalgia, bro. Like, let's go to basketball. I think it's whack that LeBron never did a dunk contest. That's kind of whack. Like, I think it's whack. If you're the GOAT, you check the boxes that anybody else that was a GOAT that could compare to you did. You're supposed to do it better than them. So, I don't know. All good. Let's see what else is going on. Actually, I'll play this Tyrese clip. My boy Tyrese low-key was spitting. Tyrese started talking about female R&B singers and how things have changed.
They don't want to love anymore. They don't want to forgive anymore. They don't want to come clean or confess. And I'm saying this to a lot of female R&B artists. You let these record label executives get in your ear and convince you that you got to release songs and singles bashing and bashing and bashing men in order for your song to matter. When you, as an artist, you're going home to your husband and your boyfriend every night. Why won't you tell the world how much you love the man that you're actually with? I did not release an album bashing my ex. Releasing an album expressing my thought and my truth. They don't want to love anymore.
Tyrese he's actually right. It's marketable now for women, not only in R&B but also in hip hop, to bash men. Niggas ain't shit. We're fucking them for their wallet. They're expendable commodities. Yeah, that's kind of what sells. I mean, I've always told y'all. I said, isn't it odd that the women who are promoting the most whorism and whoredom, and basically saying, fuck these guys, fuck love, just fuck for a bag, they were in relationships, the city girls. And then we had Cardi B, who was kind of giving about similar theories. She had a husband. And then Meg was just fucking every person that she could possibly find some love. So she was sport fucking, but she was looking for something serious. So again, absolutely, right? Like, I mean, Nicki Minaj has lyrics talking about, you know, fuck a guy, or, you know, whatever. She's married. So I do think it's misleading the people, but I don't think it's just the artist's fault. I think this is where the society's at. People want to hear, you know, with the new resurgence and more women becoming feminists, they want to hear anthems that's reaffirming what they already think. Fuck these guys. So I think it's a societal problem we're dealing with, and it's not only in R&B. But yeah, you know, I was thinking about R&B recently, and we don't hear too much about love. We hear about lust. We hear about sexual attraction. We hear about everything but what you would imagine relationships were intended for. Like, you don't hear these guys making love songs like they used to, where women would like it and men would like it, or maybe people could dance to it. Again, not saying it don't happen at all, but it happens seemingly to a lesser extent than we used to see it. Again, we're in the era where it's just profitable to rag on dudes, and it is what it is. So can't knock it. Can't knock it. Finesse 2 times? No, we're not gonna do that. Okay. What part of the thing was that? Nah, this shit was fun.
Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Yo, imagine you motherfuckers got Pluto on the menu. I'd be so tight.
And this is what's happening in our country. And it's in Springfield.
Let me see. They said Nick Young claims Kobe and Shaq-led Lakers would lose to 2018 Warriors in 5 games. I love the Lakers, but the Shaq and Kobe team is not beating 2017. Is that the Warriors team with KD? Oh, the Shaq, the most dominant, big ever stuff. They lost to Billups, Hamilton, Prince, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace 4-1 respectfully. Warriors in 5 on both teams. Not the biggest basketball aficionado, but I thought there's just less physicality. Was there a rule change? There's less physicality. Like, yo, Steph Curry is running around the whole court and not getting his head knocked off. Like, I just don't think 2001 Shaq I remember 2001 Shaq played against the 76ers, the only time that Allen Iverson made it to the finals. And if you ever seen Mutombo after every game, it looked like he went 12 rounds with motherfucking Mike Tyson. His 2 lips looked like 2 rubber tires. That's because Shaq would get the ball and put his elbow straight in Mutombo's mouth. Like, he was elbowing him. He was just going crazy with him. And the reality is, bro, that's what basketball was. I watched the Warriors, and I don't think the Warriors is as good if they're getting bumped and tripped and elbowed like how niggas was getting done in the early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course, you could run around like 5 people and then catch a 3 fading away out of bounds. because you're Steph Curry, because nobody hit you. But if somebody slapped you in the chest, pushed you, almost tripped you, nigga, by the time you get the ball, you're out of breath. Your legs is gone. You're shooting the air ball. So I think, all this, the basketball now looks amazing because it's all about open shots and efficiency and, these complicated plays to get somebody open because people are hitting open shots. But, bruh, basketball that I used to watch, and Iverson was my favorite player, was like, nah, niggas is physical. You not running around like Steph Curry. Steph Curry would have a black eye every day. So I kind of disagree with that. Or not disagree with that. I say it depends on which rules. If it's the 2001 rules or 2001 refs, I got Shaq and Kobe. If it's 2024, I got Curry and KD. Or 2017, I guess, right? All right. Tory Lanez has spoken out after his equipment, or his recording equipment, was confiscated. Okay, he has now let people know that he has provided some legal representation for 472 inmates and reopened a bunch of cases. He says the rumors are true. The prison tapes will be discontinued until further notice. However, I think it's important that my fans know the truth about the crooked ass shit that's really going on in here. My cell was not raided and trashed because I learned how to record myself in prison or because I created the prison tapes. I was shut down because the higher ups figured out what I was really doing with the prison tapes and how many inmates were being helped in a life-changing way because of them. Since the first day I was incarcerated, all I seen is blacks and other minorities receive the most cruel, illegal, and unfair punishment and treatment. For so many nights, I asked God to reveal his purpose in making me go through the ills of the prison system. I was later shown that purpose. I was placed in jail to suffer, to feel, and to witness firsthand pain and oppression being inflicted upon the young black and brown men and women of my generation. I knew I had to change this injustice, so I made a plan. That when I got to prison, I would figure out a way to record music and put all the proceeds toward the legal representation of my fellow inmates and give them a once-in-a-lifetime chance to go home to their families on appeal and resentencing. Although the higher-ups have stopped the prison tapes temporarily, they were too late to stop my overall plan. Since the month of July, I've afforded legal representation for 472 inmates and actively reopened 476 cases with the help of the legal firm Unite the People. So many inmates will return to their families and loved ones. I'm naming this the Hands of God Project. Lastly, they know I'm a threat and they don't want me saying or doing this. So if anything happens to me, just know I went out in a blaze of glory trying to revolutionize the end of mass incarceration era of our people. I'm glad Tory is using his resources for good, but I will say this, Tory, the reason why you locked up is because you dealt with a ratchet, my nigga. There's nothing else, okay? Let's not say God wanted you in there to put you through a test. No. You was dealing with a ratchet, alcoholic, big hoof bitch. That's all you were dealing with, my brother. Okay? You, like many of us men, we pick the wrong women. And a lot of times when you pick the wrong women, all they do is fuck your shit up, break your shit, ruin your career, snitch on you, backdoor you, and send you to jail. That's just the reality of it. You just pick one of them that did one of the worst things to you. It just is what it is. God ain't had nothing to do with that, brother. Trust me. If God had his way, you'd have been in Kylie Jenner guts that night, piping her out. But that wasn't God. You had a chick probably off that Hennessy, and that turned her into a demon, a semen demon. And then when the other friend who you were fucking to realized that they both was sharing the same dick, they fucking with the same man on some R. Kelly reverse shit, they said shit was finna go left. You try to get in and try to break this shit up, and guns go off, and that's why you're sitting in jail. Again, you got to stop fucking with ratchets, and I'm saying this as advice that I'm not speaking from being on top of a pulpit, because I think even when I say that, I think that applies to me as well. It is what it is. But yeah, God ain't put you here, bro. Meg Thee Stallion put your ass there. That's reality, okay? That ratchet. But I'm glad that he's helping out the other inmates. You know, Tory is a good guy, and you know, shit. I would think that he would be taking the money to put towards his legal representation, but no, he's helping out inmates. I think that's dope. Shout to him. What's this? YSL Mondo, after seeing all the love that YSL Woody is getting, he's saying he's done with the streets. He says, I'm officially done with the streets, people. When I just seen a real street nigga co-sign this rat, it just let me know the streets are done. Just proudly hung with a buddy the whole day, taking pictures, all type of goofy shit. I can't wait to see y'all, disloyal, fake, real niggas, face when bro come home. Make sure y'all stay on that side. I wouldn't even want y'all type of niggas around me because y'all don't got no loyalty. Showing y'all going broke. Y'all would do anything for some money and motion.
Hey guys, my name is Mundo. I'm a suburban kid now. I'm not a street dude anymore. I'm not gonna classify myself as a street guy anymore. I'm a suburban kid now because the streets has turned a little gay and weird and funny style. So I can't classify myself as a street guy anymore. I'm a suburban kid. I'm on the sidewalk now. So I'm a sidewalk guy. I'm not a street guy anymore, fellas and ladies. I am a sidewalk guy.
Mondo, don't you try to bring your ass over here. No, nigga. You not civilian. When all y'all niggas was claiming y'all street niggas, y'all acted like y'all signed up for the army, nigga. It sounded like y'all had a recruit letter, bruh. No. You not getting dishonorably discharged. You not coming over here with us, nigga. You gonna stay over there with the gangsters. Not because you don't like the rules or because the rule changed. You not want to come over to Pussy Nigga Association with Big Act. No. We on the sidewalk. You still in the streets. That's the thing about street niggas. The street niggas, they don't like when the rules change or when the rules don't. No. Let's be very clear. This is for all of y'all now, okay? It's part of the streets that telling is the thing. That telling gets glorified. It's part of the streets, okay? Y'all can't even tell us a time. Like, it feels like, let me not say tell us a time. All y'all black gangs, y'all don't stand on business. Y'all don't know nobody who snitched that got killed. Y'all don't know nobody who snitched who got stitches. So now when y'all see snitching rampantly, you see, snitching ain't never cool when it comes to the cartel. Niggas' tongues is getting mailed to their mamas. Niggas' fingers is getting put in cardboard boxes and mailed to their relatives. That shit's not happening. Here's the thing. Y'all street dudes need to realize that yes, the rule changed. It's like basketball, nigga. When they say, yo, you can't do this or that. It's a rule change. The rule change in the streets is that motherfucker, if all goes bad, make sure you tell on your mans. That's just what it is. So again, if you trying to uphold the whole thing of being a street dude, and again, once you join the streets, don't come back to the sidewalk. I don't know why everybody complaining about Woody, but nobody doing nothing about it. So again, Mondo, I rock with you, but think about it. That's y'all snitch. He's snitching on y'all. Every time I hear the street dudes talk about snitches, it's always like they're asking for somebody else to crash out and handle the snitch. Y'all remember when Meek Mill wanted me to handle snitches? He wanted me to, he said, nah, I'm gonna set, he said he gonna set an example, but he wanted me to stop posting 6ix9ine. So he wanted me to give the ramification of snitching. When he seen 6ix9ine in person, all he did was argue and pull his phone out. Y'all street niggas need to all say y'all done with the streets. Don't say, because, nigga, Outpost snitch. Every gangster movie I've ever watched, at the very end of the movie, there's usually one guy who told. I don't know why everybody's acting like snitching is not part of the game. Now, I know they're trying to say, oh, it's not that snitching is not part of the game. It's that snitching is cool. Here's the part of the game that y'all forgot. Y'all want to say y'all street niggas, but y'all not down to kill a snitch. That's part of the game. When niggas tell, you prevent other people from telling because you kill the snitch. That's how it works. Right? That's how it works. When there is no repercussion for snitching, you breed more snitches. if you don't put the rat poison, the rat is going to go fuck other rats and get more rats. So again, if y'all too scared to go handle the snitch, stop complaining about the rodent problem. Don't say the rules change. Don't say nothing else. You don't want to crash out, as you shouldn't crash out. But let's not act like streets is done, streets is whatever. Well, if streets is done and niggas is snitching more, streets is done because y'all niggas is letting niggas snitch more. Also, the only way to leave the streets and come to the sidewalk is to tell. So, Mondo, you can't be on the sidewalk with us because motherfucking Woody's over here. He's on the sidewalk pointing people out to the cops. That's how you get on the sidewalk. Nigga, this ain't no job at Amazon. You don't put in your 2 weeks. This nigga's putting his 2 weeks. Yo, bro is putting his 2 weeks in, bro. Yo, I'm done being a street guy. This is my 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, just call me a civilian. My name is Bill. I'm a suburban kid now. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Nope. Only way to get to the sidewalk is go do a lengthy bid and come back a reformed man, or start telling on the other niggas. Listen, people on the sidewalk tell on the people in the streets. That's what happens. Yo, that gangbanger over there just shot at my grandma's house. Police go lock him up. That's what we do on the sidewalk. I'm sorry, we on some Charleston White shit. Yes, we are. You can't put in your 2 week notice unless you're coming over here to use. On the sidewalk, we only have one way of deterring crime: telling. So in the streets, they say, yeah, even if a nigga kill my kid, I ain't gonna tell because I'm gonna keep it in the streets. You've never heard a nigga on the sidewalk say, I'm just gonna keep it on the sidewalk. No, I'm gonna keep it in my phone book. I'm gonna keep it with 911. I'm gonna keep it at the precinct. We're gonna keep it at the courtroom. We're gonna keep it with you in the box. Yes. So again, Mondo, we'll welcome you over here to the Pussy Nigga Association. By the way, I'm the leader. The Pussy Nigga Association. That's my little group, right? We'll welcome you to the sidewalk, and we'll take your. We know you're giving your 2 week notice, but here's the thing: once you're over here, you got to start telling with us. Tell us what you know. If you see a nigga that's, oh, you seen John shoot up some cribs? Well, tell the police that they could go get his ass. Woody is over here with us. The only thing is Woody be double dutching because he also in the streets too. Woody be over here with us telling, and then he get in the streets, and then he be looking at y'all like, y'all gonna kill me or what? And nobody say nothing. So, hey, here's the thing. Y'all gangsters gotta stop talking about Woody if y'all not about to handle y'all issue with them. I think Woody's doing an amazing job solving all the crime in Atlanta, getting people out of here who's scaring off the 70-year-old grandma who can't walk down the block no more because she thinks she might catch a stray bullet from one of the slats. Like, holy, like I'd be terrified. Say my grandma live on Cleveland Ave. Imagine she catch a stray bullet from the slats. Like, no, I'm sorry. No, yes, you got to cooperate. Yes. So we welcome you over here to the sidewalk, but Mondo, we just need to know, are you willing to tell? Listen, we don't do get backs. We ain't sliding for bro. We're not doing free foeing them. We don't do none of that. On the sidewalk, especially in the Pussy Nigga Association, we write statements. We cooperate. We testify. We make sure we police our community by communicating with each other and communicating with law enforcement. It's the only way. So y'all tell me. If y'all trying to get on the sidewalk, you got to be down with what the sidewalk's doing. Because if we want to get in the streets, we got to be down with what y'all doing. It is what it is. So again, Mondo, you got 2 weeks to think about this. You gave your 2 weeks notice. Think good. Yo, this nigga gave us 2 weeks notice for being in the streets. This is crazy. Like, yo, listen, in the streets, y'all got a couple of things. Yo, you ever hear the niggas in the streets? Yeah, even if I die, niggas gonna slide behind that. Yeah, let's not say that. Something happened to me. I hope the police use my Ring cameras and all the other witnesses around here to put you in jail forever and give you the needle. That's it. So, listen, we do welcome you over here, Mondo, but take your 2 weeks to carefully think if you're ready for this type of life, okay? Trust me, Mondo, when you're on the sidewalk, we do Crime Stopper videos. Yes. We do Crime Stopper videos. Yes. We call the tip line, pause. You know what I mean? We dry snitch. We do everything. We do everything to clean up the streets. That's what we do on the sidewalk. We gossip about y'all killing each other. We give anonymous tips. Pause. Yeah, all that. So you're more than welcome to join us over here, Mondo. But just be prepared to cooperate to the fullest of your potential, brother. We do have some pros though. You'll enjoy freedom. You'll enjoy a safer community. You might not be called a real nigga, but you said you're giving up the real nigga, street nigga thing. So you got 2 more weeks to be called that. Then you can come on over here, brother. Come on. All right.
Would prefer to be on the sidewalk. That's what they made it for. So I'm going to let you guys have the streets and I will walk on the sidewalk. Okay? Thanks. Goodbye.
Oh man. Okay. What is this? Yeah, we still waiting on what happened with that cop. That cop. We're trying to figure out what they did to this cop with Tyreek Hill. By the way, did y'all hear the news? Apparently, this nigga had a parlay for the under with Tyreek Hill, man. So he was going crazy. He was trying to get that nigga out, man. They say this nigga, he cooked up a mean parlay, bruh. And the parlay had Tyreek Hill going under, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, if I'm a cop and I got the ill parlay and I see the nigga that's in the parlay and I got him for the under, yeah, nigga, I'm finding a way to bring you to jail. You're going to jail today. My parlay got a hit. My parlay got a hit. Yeah, the cop had a parlay. Y'all ain't hear that? The fucking cop had a parlay. Yeah. He had a parlay. Tyreek Hill was in it. He ain't had time to guesstimate. Tyreek Hill said, yo, I had surgery on my knee. He said, sit your fucking ass down, nigga. Yeah. Yeah, nah, he tried it. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like, police brutality aside, you ever have somebody in your parlay, this nigga been asked the whole season. They got him up there on FanDuel saying, will he get over 80 yards? You're like, fuck no. So you got him on the under. First play of the game, the nigga get a 79-yard touchdown. You're like, what the fuck? He just need 1 more yard for the rest of the game. You're like, man, somebody trip him. Damn, I hope this nigga just drowned off drinking Gatorade. Like, somebody do something to him. Put him in concussion protocol, CTE, please. Anything. That's how it go, bro. That's how it go. Oh, boy. They had that boy in a crazy parlay. Fuck. All right. I'm on to the shade room now. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know why Donald Trump agreed to no type of debate with a black woman looking like this. This chick looked like she was suck dick mad. Like, come on, bro. Like, Trump should have seen this from a mile away, man. This chick looked like she mad at everything. She looked like she do everything with attitude. Suck dick with attitude, take back shots with attitude, cook food with attitude, breastfeed with attitude. Everything, bro. Everything. All right. Alrighty then. Man, there's a lot of that shit going on. Let me see what else is going on. Ice-T said he tired of the pronoun shit. He gonna call everybody a motherfucker. I like that. I like that. Yo. Oh, I think the page private, ain't it? Yeah, it's private. I can't even get to it. I was gonna shout out Lil Baby's girl. Lil Baby's girl was on the gram. Nigga said she wrote questions up for herself in the Q&A. Yo, her fans was violating her. They say, yo, how do you feel about being the poster child of being cheated on? And I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what she said? She said, it's cool. I ain't even gonna cap with you. Let me see if I can pose it. Bro, she said, they asked her how she feel. I guess they told my little baby cheating on her type shit. So one of the questions says, yo, how you feel about being the poster child of being cheated on? She says, it's all right. Nigga, she wasn't even in denial. You know some of these chicks would be always like being denial and shit. Hold on. Where's the burner? Where's the fucking burner count? Where's the burner count? Oh, here we go. I ain't gonna lie. Nigga, I respected her for it more. You know what I mean? You know what they say? You rather crown a Rolls Royce than crown that Kia. Yeah, she went to the Q&A. Somebody said, it said, no, right here. It says, how did you make getting cheated on look easy? Yo, shout out to her though, because listen, man, the person, you know, like yo, these girls know what they sign up for, bro. Like, yo, you dating a famous rapper, like you've just chosen a life of non-poverty, right? Like, you didn't choose a life of like fucking real loyalty. Like, yeah, there's supposed to be loyalty, but come on, a nigga gonna be a nigga, right? She says, I never look at the shit I'm going through. Some girls allow that shit to break them and stop their drive, hustle, and ambition. Yet I bounce back harder and elevate each time to the point I now know my worth. This girl's good, man. I like her. Then somebody says, yo, these questions are shady. Why the hell are they asking you this like you're the poster child of being cheated on? Who cheated on you, Jada? And she says, laughing my ass off. I have been, though. I guess she says she's a poster child. And I'm not ashamed. That's that. But I ain't gonna lie, I liked her. Yo, Jada, I'm a fan of you now. I like realistic chicks. Feel me? Yeah, let little baby cheat in peace, man. Let him, that nigga, yo. That nigga didn't drop all them songs and all them hits for no fucking reason. You know, that nigga cheat in peace, bro. She said, yeah, I am the poster child being cheated on. I'm not ashamed. Even if they're trying to be shady, it do not move me. You can try to clown me about some shit I hold myself accountable for and grew from and learned from. Yo, Jada, man, you deserve every Rolls Royce you got. Shout out to you, man. I like chicks who realize, yo, it's a trade-off. You're dating little baby. You're dating little baby. He's giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, you're getting spoiled, flying on private jets, doing what you want. But there's a trade-off to it. He gets to fuck the newest Instagram model when he wants, and it's okay. The person who's writing you that is on government assistance probably. Or their self-esteem is intact, but they're with a nigga who's broke as shit or a nigga with no job. Perfect. You got to realize, you know, in life, you just got to, it's a trade-off, right? It's a trade-off. It is what it is. So, long as she's aware, you know, fuck with her for this. Baby, you might have to get back with her, dog. Might have to get back with her, dog. All right. All righty then. What else going on? What else is going on? Let me look on Should look on Hollywood on lock first. The neighborhood talk. Yeah, Candace Owens got demonetized. I ain't gonna get into that. I mean, there ain't much to talk about when Candace Owens. Yo, they told Candace Owens the lesson, man. All y'all YouTubers who thought y'all were being edgy, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Yo, for real, all y'all YouTubers, man, if y'all want to talk about Jewish people, bro, just go make your own platform, bro. They're telling you they ain't even into it, bro. All y'all YouTubers who want to like slander Jewish people, bro, just go, nigga. Don't do it on YouTube, nigga. Do it on MyTube or something. Go make your own shit. They're not fucking with that. They just got Candace Owens out of here with that, or at least for 90 days. Yo, Meek is a legendary type of nigga, man. He said, how we get tickets to the debate in Philly? I want to go. It's going to be history. They said I could come. Well, dingbat, if they told you could come and they wanted you to come, wouldn't they give you tickets, dummy? Like, yo, Meek Mill's a special type of stupid. Like, first of all, I don't think there was an audience, but here's the thing. It's like me saying, yo, bro, you could come to my show or you could come to this. And then you gotta get on Twitter, like, yo, how do I get tickets to the show? They said I could come. This is crazy, bro. I feel like it's like bullying at this point. Meek, I rock with you, bro. Meek, Meek, I'm getting to the point with you where I got to with like Carisha. Like, bro, bullying is never fun no matter what. And I think intellectually I've been bullying you, like maybe physically, well, even though I think you're on box, but still, maybe street-wise you could bully me, but like intellectually I feel like I've been just bullying you. And I'm at the point now where it's like, I feel like the kid that's clowning the half-baked retarded nigga. And rather than clown you, I'd rather just sit with you and read you the Harry Potter book or Cat in the Hat. You know what I mean? Let's get your IQ up. So I'm kind of about to start being on your side and start defending you because there's just no more laughter I could give to your stupidity without trying to give help. Right? Let me see what else. I ain't watching that. What's this? The Weeknd said they crashed the pre-order site. Yeah, the Weeknd about to do some numbers. So why y'all don't like dating people with kids? I was actually no, I don't even want to talk about that tonight. Me and AJ was debating about that earlier. I was like, yo, I don't like women with kids. It's like, especially if you're taking them super serious. At the end of it, like, you're always gonna run that situation where that kid gonna look at you and be like, nigga, you ain't the pappy, nigga. You are not my father. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna call it. I call it. I know I've been calling it before for 5 hours in the last couple of days, but tonight was just supposed to be a watch party. It's all good. We'll call it today. I gotta do a daytime stream, man. I was supposed to link with Silky today to do a stream. I think he's in New York City. Watch out for like my first IRL stream. Well, not first IRL stream, but I guess first. I'm about to do an IRL stream and a regular stream. So I don't know how that's going to be done, but it's going to be like a daytime thing for the IRL. And then later I'll get back on the desktop. So you guys can pick your poison, whatever you like. I hope you guys did watch the debate with me, and whatever your opinion is, listen, I am not here to push Trump on y'all. Trust me. Like, if you like Kamala, she did good tonight. Fuck with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not that serious, right? Like, I don't want to argue with y'all over what you think is best for you. You should know what's best for you. And I don't think I have to convince you to think my way for us to be cool or for no, just do what you want to do. You get what I'm saying? And go with your gut, go with your heart, do your research, and you'll be fine, right? So I don't want to get too much into the politics shit. But regardless, we'll be back on tomorrow. I got to do a daytime stream to give y'all a longer stream. We'll be back on with more hip-hop stuff. I think we are on 5 days now, which I'm kind of very, 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 very proud of. So, yeah, let's get back into that tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Wednesday, New music drops Thursday night, but we'll figure out some shit for tomorrow. All right, chat. I do love y'all. I appreciate you guys each and every time for sitting here and enjoying. Hopefully, every time I cut the stream off, I'm like, I hope I was entertaining enough that gave them a couple laughs, a few memorable moments, something to talk about, and something to think about, something to digest. All right. Thank you guys for being the best audience I could possibly imagine. Nothing bigger than the chat. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Day 6 is tomorrow, I believe, too.